Good evening. This is Benjamin Sanchez. I'm a Texas attorney, and I help empower and represent people who have problems in two of the most important roles in their lives as a consumer and as a family member. Today, I'm presenting day 6 of the Legal Grounds 12 Days of Christmas. Unfortunately, during this time, because of the pandemic, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stress, including debt and potential eviction and foreclosure. In today's video, I want to answer the question how you should answer the eviction question on a lease application in the future. What constitutes an eviction for you to have to answer that question as yes. Now, at the end of this year, some of the eviction moratorium is going to end on a lot of people, and unfortunately, there are going to be more evictions. So when you are evicted, exactly what does that mean? Well, in Texas, before a landlord can file an eviction action against you, they have to give you a notice to vacate. In some cases, in most cases, it's a 3-day notice to vacate. In other cases, it's a 30-day notice to vacate. Sometimes if the landlord wants attorney's fees, they will give you a 10-day notice to vacate because they will include attorney's fees language in the notice to vacate. But regardless of whether or not you get a 3-day notice to vacate, a 10-day notice, or a 30-day notice, as long as you leave during that period, you are not considered evicted. Let me repeat that. Most people think that the eviction process has started when they get the notice to vacate. While it is true that the notice is required, the actual eviction process doesn't start until an eviction lawsuit is filed against you. Just remember that if you move out during this period before the lawsuit is filed, you are not considered evicted, and you can answer any future application on a lease no if it asks you if you've been evicted. Now, here's the thing. Just because you've been filed against also does not mean that you have been evicted. There are lawsuits for evictions, but not all lawsuits are won by the landlord. Sometimes the lawsuits are dismissed by agreement. Sometimes they are dismissed because an attorney or a tenant pro se is able to get the judge to defeat the eviction for lack of procedure or evidence or other things. So quite frankly, you are not truly evicted until there is a judgment of eviction entered against you and that judgment becomes final. Okay? You have to have a judgment of eviction against you, and that eviction judgment has to become final. Well, what does that mean in Texas? People, I will tell you that I can do a whole course and have done a whole course on evictions in Texas. But generally, all eviction actions must start in the Justice of the Peace Court. That court basically has very little rules of evidence and very little procedure. However, every case in a Justice of the Peace Court has the ability to be appealed to the county court for a new trial as if the Justice of the Peace Court case never happened. It's called a trial de novo, and what that means is that if you appeal that decision properly, and that's a key, but if you appeal that decision properly to the county court, then again, you are not considered evicted at that point because that JP judgment goes away. So if you appeal and you get to county court, that case could still be dismissed. You could still win the case, but you have to get to a final judgment in the county court. Whether you get a judgment in the JP court against you and you don't appeal, or you fail to appeal timely, or you do appeal and you get a judgment against you in the county court, that is the point at which you are considered evicted if that judgment becomes final. And this is a lot of lawyer talk, and I'm not trying to get into the details, but there are some things you need to know about, quote, when a judgment becomes final. That's where an attorney can really help you. But if you get a final judgment of eviction in an eviction lawsuit, then you are considered evicted, and that is when, on future applications for lease, when they ask you, have you ever been evicted? At that point, you would have to say yes. But if you leave during the vacate period or you win the eviction lawsuit, you can honestly and truthfully answer that question, no. And that is a little bit of what you need to know regarding evictions and how to answer that question on future lease applications. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions regarding evictions, or you are about to be evicted, or you need just any kind of questions, please give me a call, Benjamin Sanchez, 713-780-7745. Again, I'm a Texas attorney, and I look forward to hearing from you. And this has been the Day 6 of the Legal Grounds 12 Days of Christmas. I wish y'all a very good weekend, and hopefully you'll never have to deal with this question. Have a good night. Bye-bye.